Jeffrey Dahmer, inside the mind of a monster. Dark, eerie background music fades in, narrator, deep, unsettling tone. It started with a boy who loved dissecting animals, collecting bones, and fantasizing about the dead. No one knew it then, but that boy would grow up to become one of the most terrifying serial killers in American history, a man whose crimes were so gruesome, so disturbing, that they still haunt the world today. Scene: black and white footage of a quiet suburban neighborhood. Jeffrey Lionel Dahmer was born in 1960 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. From the outside, his childhood seemed normal, but behind closed doors, something was very, very wrong. As a child, Dahmer had a fascination with death. While other kids played games, he collected dead animals, dissecting them, studying them. To him, they weren't just creatures. They were puzzles, puzzles he needed to understand. Dahmer's darkness grew silently until 1978. That's when he crossed the line from thoughts to action. He was just 18 years old when he picked up his first victim, 19-year-old hitchhiker Stephen Hicks. Dahmer invited him over for a drink, but when Hicks tried to leave, something snapped inside Jeffrey. He struck Hicks from behind and strangling him to death. Then, he dismembered his body and dissolved it in acid. The world had just witnessed the birth of a monster, and no one even knew. For nearly a decade, Dahmer stayed quiet, but in 1987, he struck again, and this time he couldn't stop. His apartment in Milwaukee became his hunting ground. He lured young men inside with promises of drinks, parties, even money for photo shoots. But once they stepped inside, they never came back out. Dahmer didn't just kill, he experimented. He injected acid into his victims' brains, trying to turn them into human zombies. He kept body parts as trophies. He even stored remains in his fridge for later. What was happening inside apartment 213 was beyond comprehension, but somehow he kept getting away with it. For years, neighbors complained about the smell, they heard screams, but the police never suspected a thing. Until one fateful night. That night, a man named Tracy Edwards escaped from Dahmer's apartment. He ran into the streets, desperate, leading police back to apartment 213. What they found inside shocked the world. There were human skulls, photographs of dismembered victims, even a human heart in the freezer. Dahmer's killing spree was finally over. In 1992, Jeffrey Dahmer was sentenced to 16 life sentences, over 900 years behind bars. He admitted everything, showing no remorse. But his time in prison wouldn't last long. 2 years later, in 1994, Dahmer was attacked by a fellow inmate. He was beaten to death in the prison bathroom, his skull crushed with a metal bar. Some say it was justice. Others say it was too easy of a punishment. The legacy of evil. Jeffrey Dahmer's crimes left a scar on history. His story is one of darkness, obsession, and pure evil. But the real question is, are monsters born, or are they created? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more true crime stories.